Good afternoon and welcome to KHTS. You are listening to your Hometown Drive with your host Jade Abishan, Sophia Lesius, and myself, Jen Sparks. This is the show where we talk all about the Santa Clarita Valley, news and sports, entertainment, traffic, and more. And today's show, just like all the rest, filled with a lot of interesting news stories. Some more drama, it seems. There's always something going on. Sophia's always on the pulse of all the drama that's happening around town. But we'll get to that in just a second. How are you ladies this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good. It's gotten a little bit windy, and it was pretty cold in the office when I got here this morning, to the point where I had my canned drink I'd left on my desk all night, and my coworker, our other news director, Louie, thought that I had just pulled it out of the fridge. So it was a little chilly in here this morning.
Yeah.
How about you, Sophia?
You know, leaving Acton this morning, it was very cold for me, but I actually warmed up when I came down to Santa Clarita, just because Acton, I think, is like 1,000 feet up more than Santa Clarita.
Yeah, you guys are colder up there.
We are. Yeah. So I was enjoying the weather actually out here, but I still have my sweater on. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, I should have brought mine. But you know what? We cannot complain. I have family who's I've talked about before in St. Louis, Missouri, and they're under 10 inches of snow, give or take. My in-laws are further east, and they have even more snow. So we can't really complain about, it's 52 and windy.
Yeah, they're like negative 12.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Anyway. All right, so why don't we jump right into it. Today we're talking about the Old Town Newhall construction, I think, that's happening literally right outside of our window here. We've got new developments going on there.
Possibly.
Yes, possibly.
Okay.
And it's not just that. There are also other future developments that are under discussion that are possibly going to be coming in, impacting parking specifically, which is always a big one. Something I always say about the Santa Clarita Valley is I love how no matter where I go here, I don't have to pay to park publicly. We are still in that beautiful part of suburbia where we don't have to do that. But Sophia, you were actually at the city council meeting on Tuesday. What was going on? What was being discussed? I mean, I get all of the live tweets in our group chat at work, but why don't you explain a little bit more about what was happening?
So what was happening at the city council on Tuesday, this was the majority of the discussion, and what city council kind of talked about and voted on Tuesday was to move forward with the early negotiations with Serrano Development Group for a new public parking structure / mixed use development in Newhall. Now, anybody who is familiar with Newhall probably is a little bit familiar with Serrano Development Group. They've been around for a couple of times. They did help bring in Newhall Crossings. They are now bringing in the Hartwell project that's going to be
right next door.
I'm just going to tell you where our building that we are currently is going to be part of Hartwell project. And they are now working with, or possibly working with, they're under a 6-month contract now, working with the city of Santa Clarita to negotiate a parking structure that would have over 300 parking spots, as well as mixed use development. What that really means when we talk about mixed use development is just like there could be a coffee shop there could be, like when we're talking about the Newhall Crossings, they have a theater, they have little boutiques over there, they have a coffee shop across the street, and even Jade and I's favorite Irish pub. So
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I like McGinn's.
That's kind of a mixed use development. Now, this property, I'm going to just talk a little bit about this. It's not even an acre large. It's 0.86 acres, and roughly right now it has 92 existing parking spaces. So that would triple the amount of spaces that we would currently have. This is also right now the city of Santa Clarita owns that parking lot, as well as the Roger Dunn building and Moore's sub property. And so what they're doing is they're negotiating it to sell it to Serrano Development Group, so then they could come up with this public parking place or just a larger parking structure.
Yeah, because right now that's just the open lot that's on the south side of Old Town Newhall, just north of the roundabout.
Right.
So
And
it's already very
Street?
useful.
Yeah.
It's 6, right? Okay.
Yeah. And when they were discussing this, this isn't a parking structure that would be kind of similar to the one that we have down the street, because that one actually goes underground. So this one would not go underground at all. This one would just be a above ground parking structure, and I think they were saying that it wouldn't be over 3 stories.
Yeah, which I think the one that we currently have is what, 5?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of the taller buildings over here.
So is this kind of meant to bookend what's happening down the street here?
It's supposed to
complement
just very much mimic exactly what happened over at Newhall Crossings.
Right.
The only thing is, we've had a lot of issues, and I'm sure people listening to this right now can remember what happened with Hartwell and the kind of back and forth with the city about the aesthetics, about just buying buildings in general, about tearing down certain things. So, talking specifically about this, I will say some of the council members had a hard time kind of wrapping their head around having Serrano Development Group come in again and do this project. And so I wanted to say that Marsha McLean, one of our council members who's been on there for almost 30 years, had quite a few things to say about the Hartwell project and how she feels about this specific developer coming in.
And are we going to require that they lend some money towards the parking structure? Because they got away with murder on the Hartwell. They truly did. They kind of led the whole deal, and I feel like they really got much more than they should have, and they got away with a lot.
All right, so you can clearly hear that Marsha wasn't very happy with what happened with Hartwell project over here. I mean, Jade, you were kind of here this entire time, and Jen, you too, kind of understanding that this Hartwell project was back and forth for months.
Yes, and just to clarify, Serrano has been involved in multiple developments here in Old Town Newhall. There is the very successful project of Newhall Crossings to the north of us, which is the current parking structure, the Limley, and everything that we were talking about earlier, which that is right at Lyons and Railroad and Main Street. And then you have the Hartwell project, which is a mixed-use apartment development that is going in, that will be taking over our space and destroying our building, which has already, that deal is already set in stone. It also led to the destruction of the historical old courthouse here in Santa Clarita, which was a big to-do because of the discussion of like, is it a historical building? What counts? What doesn't? It once was a historical building. When did it stop being one? Who decided that? And now this is going to be to the south, almost equidistant, each of these projects, about a block or so apart, a block and a half, 2 blocks apart. This is going to be at 6th Street and Railroad in Maine. And so figuring out how all of this goes together, especially with Old Town Newhall has had a very low profile vertically. Most of the buildings around here are 1 to 2 stories. So having it starting to slowly build up has been a very tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, especially for
those, in
those,
this area.
Yeah, and for those that have been living in Santa Clarita for so long, I think it's hard to kind of wrap your head around saying like, no, we want that preservation, but at the same time, we want to move forward.
And it's also the discussion of, if this is Old Town Newhall, how do we preserve the Old Town Newhall feel while doing needed updates? Because we do need more parking here.
We do.
It gets very busy here on Saturdays when we're working and the farmers market is happening and, you know, people are coming out to breakfast. So how do we balance those two things? And I'm just glad that I don't have to make those decisions on city council.
Yeah, because you want to preserve, like you said, Sophia, the look of the whole area, and you know, it's special. You don't really see this type of vibe, I guess, if you will, any other place.
Yeah.
And so you want to take care of that and respect that, but at the same time, this is all about progress and moving forward.
It's also a revitalization project, because when I was much younger, Old Town Newhall did not feel like this. It was a little bit more rough and tumble. And so now we're kind of figuring out, what is the identity of Old Town Newhall? What do we want it to feel like? Balancing tradition and progress.
Yeah. So you guys can read the whole story about this entire thing on what the city council actually voted on and what the details of this project is. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
It's the best hamburger you've ever had.
Telly's.
Telly's Charburgers. Mouth-watering perfection. Beer on tap. House-made desserts. Gluten-free items and vegan as well. Experience an old-fashioned drive-thru. Telly's lost in the 50s, found in the 90s, and tuned up in the 2020s in their new location at Plum Canyon just off White's Canyon.
Telly's Charburgers, where nostalgia is back.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Burgers, shakes, salads, and so much more. Experience Telly's at their new location.
The Mercedes-Benz of Valencia team has a special announcement for our Santa Clarita neighbors. There's simply no other Mercedes-Benz dealer more committed to earning a long-term relationship with you. And we're ready to prove it with can't-be-beat locals-only offers and exceptional customer service. With jaw-dropping payments as low as $249 per month and 0% APR interest for 36 months. Visit the Mercedes-Benz of Valencia team to lock in your SCV deal.
If you'd like to take your business up a notch, take a look at Elite Magazine.
Linda and Mo Hafizi, owners of our Valley's two leading magazines, the Magazine of Santa Clarita and Elite.
I'm so proud of Elite. It allows your advertisement to stand out. We distribute Elite to 50,000 homes and businesses. You'll find us in 1,900 local hotel rooms.
Discover how Elite Magazine can help your business. Call 294-4444.
Superior quality is second nature to us. Just ask our advertisers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Palucki. When I met Alona Yorkshire, founder of Sanctuary Animal Assisted Therapy here in Santa Clarita, she was barely functioning. Crippling migraines had put her at risk of losing the sanctuary and even being able to take care of her own children. But with precise upper cervical care, her migraines stopped running her life. And today, Alona helps more than 100 people with disabilities every day because she got her life back. Discover what's possible at SantaClaritaChiropractor.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220. Go!
And the time is 2:19 on this Thursday afternoon. Still very quiet out there on the roads for you. Heading 5 southbound, just that usual traffic that's going to slow down for construction. Halsey Canyon and Parker, heading 5 south. And then a little bit further 5 on the, south on the 5 there, right between Parker, like I said, and then once you get closer towards the 14 connector, you're going to hit the brakes there. Magic Mountain Parkway and 5 heading to also slow as well. And then just a little bit of a on the brakes on the 14 heading north right by Via Princesa and Golden Valley. Sophia, how's our weather looking today?
Thanks for that traffic report, Jen. I appreciate that. Right now it's 72 degrees. We're getting winds at 9 miles an hour coming in from the north, but we do have a wind advisory right now that is, we're going to be seeing gusts from 15 to 20 miles an hour, possibly up to 40 miles an hour. So just kind of giving you guys a heads up that the winds might be a little windy tonight as well as tomorrow. So Friday, tonight, and then going into Friday night, we're going to be getting those wind gusts. So keep that, I guess, in the back of your head when you're walking out the door.
Your hometown station.
I love the music, and I always tune in when there's an emergency in Santa Clarita.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
And you're listening to your hometown drive with Jade, Sophia, and Jen. And we have a bit of a not great news that we wanted to update you on, Sophia.
Yeah, so those of you in the Santa Clarita Valley, we had an Amber Alert issued for 2 children from Santa Clarita this morning. So the Amber Alert was issued for a 9-year-old Sofia Ordonez and 12-year-old Romero Ordonez. They are both siblings and believed to be with an adult named Crystal Ordonez. They were last seen Wednesday afternoon near River Circle and Soledad Canyon Road in Canyon Country, according to CHP. Now, Crystal is believed to be driving a black 2018 Kia Sorento with California license plate 8LRF237. If you do see this car, please call 911. We do have all of that information on our website at hometownstation.com. Jade?
Well, it has been a very interesting week for us here in the Santa Clarita Valley when it comes to crime specifically. We have a lot of updates, very unfortunately, on some fatal crashes that have happened here in the Santa Clarita Valley over the last couple of months. Santa Clarita, we've got the 5 freeway, we've got the 14 freeway, we're going up into the Grapevine, we've got the 126, which is famously known as Blood Alley. And so that means, very unfortunately, when you have a lot of travelers, you get a lot of fatal crashes. As we were talking about earlier with that traffic, sometimes that is caused by collisions. Now, in this case, we do have an update that a Long Beach man has been charged with multiple felonies following a crash that killed 2 children and injured 4 others just north of Castaic on Christmas Day, which is such a terrible, terrible event to occur on a holiday of all things. It's so terrible, but
I know. I actually have like a story about that crash specifically.
Do you?
Yeah. I won't name the name, but my friend was the person who was in a crash right before that.
Oh.
On the right in front of Pyramid Lake. He ended up like hitting part of. He hydroplaned while it was raining really hard. His car ended up getting into a crash. He ended up rolling. His family came out to come get him, and that's how that man ended up hydroplaning in the same area, ended up hitting his family's car, hitting my friend's car, and then they ended up, unfortunately, seeing those kids die in front of them.
Oh, that's... But you do bring a great point, is that it was raining. We had quite a bit of very severe weather that we're not used to driving in the Santa Clarita Valley and Southern California in general. But a man named, unfortunately, I don't know the actual pronunciation, whether he does Jorge or George, so we're going to go with George in this one. George Everardo Preciado, who is a 28-year-old man from Long Beach, has been charged with 6 felonies in connection with the Christmas Day crash, which occurred north of Castaic, and claimed the lives of 2 children, 6-year-old Jaden and 9-year-old, also named George. 4 other children were injured. Now, something to mention is that this family, and their group of friends, were in a Nissan vehicle that only had 5 seatbelts. There were more than that number of people in the car, and so 2 of the children who were in the vehicle were ejected and died. There was a 3rd child that was also ejected who was transported to the hospital and has survived. But it's just such a tragic reminder that if you are traveling, please don't try to stuff more people than can fit in the number of seatbelts, especially when it comes to children. They're small. You can squish them in together, but it's just not safe.
No.
Yeah, they move too easily.
Correct.
It's just the basic, science behind it, for lack of a better phrase.
Absolutely. And so, unfortunately, Everardo Preciado has been charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter and 4 counts of child abuse through negligence. So that does count as child abuse as well on the criminal terms.
Just the way they weren't strapped into the car, and they technically, some of the kids didn't have a seat for themselves.
Yes, correct. That is not the only crash that we are getting crime updates on for as they follow them through the court system here at KHTS. A Florida man has been charged with murder and several other felonies following an alleged DUI crash that claimed the life of a known soccer player in the Santa Clarita Valley, also in December. 34-year-old Caleb Franks of Daytona Beach, Florida, has been charged with 5 felonies in connection with a December 14th crash on the 210 freeway near Sunland Boulevard in Shadow Hills. And so that ended up killing 13-year-old Brian Ceja. And both of his mother and his uncle were also in the vehicle at the time, and they survived, but were also very seriously injured. And our sympathies go out, very unfortunately in this case, to all the families involved in this, because this once again goes to show making a dumb decision does not mean that nothing bad is going to happen. Because when it comes to something like this, they're often able to charge you within, and that means if you know that you are getting into your vehicle and you know you are drunk, even if you think you're not going to hit anybody, you know you are impaired, and you are putting other people's lives at risk, and you are liable for that. And that is exactly the same way that Preciado is also being charged with child abuse, whereas you're not wanting your kids to get hurt, but you are acknowledging when you put more people into a car than that car can safely support, that you are taking that risk and you are putting their lives in danger willingly. You don't want them to get hurt. You don't want to hit somebody else when you're a DUI driver, but you are taking on that risk and inflicting it upon others potentially. And in this case, with these 2 crashes, the worst happened.
And for the second crash in particular, with the DUI suspect, 34 years old, for all intents and purposes, ruined. You've ruined other families' lives, and then, of course, like you said, your own. And I just think, especially these days where Uber is so easy, Lyft is so easy, or calling a friend so easy, and you choose to do something like this, it's a shame.
And I do want to point out that he did, the person who was driving under the influence, he did test over 0.8 blood alcohol content, and his bail was set at $2.13 million. So that is a very, very high bail. You don't usually hit $1 million bail until you do something pretty bad.
Yeah, so bail for straight up first-degree murder is $2 million. But we are talking about several felonies, including the fact that the driver, his child was also a passenger in his own vehicle. So, if you're listening to this, please be responsible. If buzz driving is drunk driving, and we also have our other PR campaigns of click it or ticket. Everybody needs a seatbelt. Everybody can drive safely. Take a little bit of time. Call an Uber. Call a friend. go get lunch.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wait for your at, get something DoorDash to you,
Yeah.
eat something greasy,
Yeah.
and wait.
Yeah.
You can take a nap in your car.
Yes. You can make the choice to protect yourself and to protect others.
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to this. But KHTS is going to be continuing to follow these cases as we make our way through the court system. And these are very complicated and often do take time because there's a lot of tests that have to occur, not only in terms of the intoxication of the driver,
Right.
but you have to go through the computer records of the cars
Right.
as well as any witness statements. So this is going to take some time. I know people often complain about the speed that the wheels of justice turn at, but very unfortunately, when it comes to something like this, when you have innocent until proven guilty, you have to take the time to make sure that you are sure and that the punishment fits the severity and accuracy of the crime that this person has been charged with.
And with the second incident, the DUI suspect, it looks like he's going to be arraigned on Monday.
Correct.
So hopefully, you were just saying, obviously things take time, but that's at least, the ball is starting to roll in that direction starting on Monday for the arraignment.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Who says nothing good happens after midnight? Denny's is best known for breakfast served round the clock. You can enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner in a casual atmosphere 24/7. At Denny's, the lunch and dinner menu has a variety of appetizers, burgers, salads, and entrees, along with the best desserts in town. Wherever you live in Santa Clarita, there's a Denny's close by. If you're pulling an all-nighter or just don't feel like cooking, get into Denny's today. Good stuff is happening at Denny's.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themain-newhall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
With locations throughout the valley, Providence offers the most advanced technology and therapies for treating cancer in Southern California. Call 1-888-HEALING for your annual checkup or second opinion. The road to healing leads to Providence.
Our recent fires have created a dire housing shortage. Consider adding a small ADU structure in your backyard. Ulrich Lifestyle is the leading company that has been crafting outdoor structures for Santa Clarita homes. ADUs, personalized sheds, and detached garages that become extensions of your home. Ulrich Lifestyle often delivers a finished product within 48 hours. They're built for how you live, work, play, and connect with those you love. Visit their design center at Soledad and Sand Canyon. UlrichLifestyle.com.
Hometown.
They're amazing, and every single one of their songs is amazing, except for like one.
Your hometown station.
And the time is 2:32 on Thursday afternoon. We lucked out. It's still pretty quiet out there this afternoon. Just the usual slowdowns. You might run into some traffic and construction that'll slow you down. 5 right around Magic Mountain heading south. Also on the 5 southbound Lions, you hit the brakes a little bit. There's construction there. 14 looks pretty good, not too bad. There is a bit of a slowdown. The 14 south right between Via Princesa and Golden Valley. Sophia, how is our weather?
Weather right now is 72 degrees. We are getting 16% humidity outside, and the winds are coming in from the north at 9 miles an hour. Now, if we're looking a little bit into the future, we are going to be getting some gusty winds. So tomorrow, tonight, we're going to be getting 40-mile-an-hour gusts. Tonight, we're probably going to be getting up to 45-mile-an-hour gusts. Friday, Saturday, we're also be getting those gusty winds. So just prepare yourself. Maybe wear a windbreaker when going outside. But other than that, it's going to be beautiful.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
And this is your Hometown Drive on your hometown station with Jade and Sophia and myself, Jen. Picking back up where we left off a little bit, talking about local news. We usually cover sports if we've got good stuff happening. entertainment, traffic, just things that are going on around town. But now we're going to kind of shift towards Sacramento and things that are happening there. We have an annual Sacramento trip coming up, and you guys were telling me a little bit about it. I've never been.
I haven't either.
Oh, Sophia's not been. Okay.
No.
Okay, so Jade, you're our expert on the Sacramento trip.
I am. I've been able to go on it a few times now. To explain what the Sacramento, so we are the hometown station, and that means that we are heavily involved in the community. And so many years ago, back in the far off year of 2005,
Whoa.
which is the year that some of our employees were born, which is crazy to think about, late state assemblyman Keith Richmond and KHTS co-owner Carl Goldman were discussing, man, how do we actually go to Sacramento and like tell them what's actually happening, tell them what our concerns are. And Carl was talking to the assemblyman about this, and the assemblyman's like, well, I mean, do you want to just make it happen? And so they loaded a whole bunch of people on a bus, went up to Sacramento, had a little powwow with the people up there, and came back down. And it was so fulfilling that we have now been doing it for about 17 years. This is the 17th annual, not 17 years. It was a little bit of a pause, but not for COVID and then other various things, especially if we have our DC trip. So we try to alternate those. But over the years, more than 1,000 residents have traveled to Sacramento with KHTS since we started this program. And this year, the 17th annual KHTS Sacramento Road Trip, which is organized by us in partnership with California State Senator Suzette Martinez Valadares and her office, we are going to be bringing community members up to Sacramento to bring the Santa Clarita Valley's most pressing concerns directly to state representatives. It is a very busy 2-day period, and it's not even full 2 days. We leave at like 6 or 7 a.m. on a Monday, and then we get back at like 9 or 10 p.m. on Tuesday.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's a very quick trip,
Yeah.
and it is chock full.
So this is like a field trip for grown-ups.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Not just
But field trip for
grown-ups.
politics.
Not just politics, because it's also about what are the concerns of the Santa Clarita Valley that the state is responsible for.
Right.
So we're not just talking about laws. When we go up there, we talk about all sorts of concerns. Usually we focus on 4 or 5 like bipartisan issues, specifically education, water, like business infrastructure, and legal issues that pertain to traffic development. So if there's something going on with the 5 that isn't necessarily underneath the county's control, that might be under Caltrans or, I don't know, let's say high-speed rail, if that's the state level, then mostly that's federal, so that's a bad example, but carry on following me on this one here. You're able to actually talk to the people about these concerns. And so in previous years, we've had all sorts of speakers that we're able to talk to, including the State Director of Finance. We're able to talk to the chair of the State Assembly's Higher Education Committee, the head of the State Senate, the Executive Director of California Sustainable Wine Growing Alliance. So
Okay.
if you, around here, we have a lot of vineyards.
Yeah, we do.
We do. And so that is something that pertains to the Santa Clarita Valley. So like, what are the taxes and tax breaks? What is the forethought of how the economy is going to change in wine growing? We've been able to talk to those people directly. And this isn't just for some people who are interested in politics. We always have it where there are high school students who are specially selected from various schools to go up to actually get a tour of the state capitol with our local representatives.
Oh, that's
we
cool.
Yeah, we have at least a couple members of our city council. We have members of our local water board who are able to go up there and discuss, as well as just regular people. So we actually have it where if you want to just get on the bus with us and go, all you have to do is register.
It's that easy.
It's that there are a couple of other steps.
Sure.
You know, we just want to make sure that you actually like live here, so
Right.
that way, you know, we don't have somebody who is from somewhere else taking advantage of the fact that Santa Clarita offers this.
Right.
But you could just go up there if you have any concerns.
Right.
So this is like we're living it on a day-to-day basis as a resident, and then this gives us an opportunity to talk to the people who are making decisions and who have, you know, more of a heavy-weighted opinion on what and how things happen.
Correct. So it's like, you know, say, you know, it's the exact same thing of taking your concerns to city council, just at the state level. So if you're concerned about, oh, you know, there's a hillside behind me, but the county says that they can't do anything about it shifting because of a certain bill that is in the process of being regulated, and we're not quite sure how that works. You can go, well, I'm worried about this land's like coming down on me. Let me go up there and see if there's anyone from the geological, committee or something like that.
Yeah, that would listen.
It's good because I think sometimes you can feel, as a resident, you can feel kind of lost for, or maybe not able to have your voice heard. If there's something going on, like, who do you talk to? Where do you even begin? Instead of just dealing with whatever the issue is, this is great. This gives you, a microphone, so to speak, and hopefully, get some answers, or at least get a little insight on how things work. If there's an answer for you, you know, if you're concerned about something close to your home, this is great.
Yeah, and not just that, but it puts you in contact with, one, how the process actually works, because politics is a lot less complicated than it sounds. Yes, there's a lot of legalese, there's a lot of paperwork, but it's also finding just the right person.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it is finding the right person whose job it actually is to go, let me make this work for you. I mean, think about, you have to change something, and so you go to the DMV, and you're like, I have no idea how to do this. And then they go, all right, this is the dude you talk to.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Because there's always someone who knows how this works. It's just a matter of finding them.
And just kind of saying this out loud, I mean, if you can't make this trip, you're always welcome to email us at info@hometownstation.com about any of your concerns in Santa Clarita. And for any of us that is actually going to be there on the Sacramento trip, we can bring those up and say, hey, we had a couple residents email us, let us know that they're concerned about A, B, C, and D, and that they wanted us to bring that forward and bring back the information that we learned, so that way at least they are aware of what people in Sacramento or what people in our state are actually doing, or what they're saying, or addressing their concerns. We would be more than happy to do that. So if you did want to talk with us, or at least make a phone call, email us is probably better, just because we all get it in the newsroom. So I'm going to repeat it again. It's info@hometownstation.com. You can also check out our Sacramento trip and the article that we have up. That's going to be at hometownstation.com. And this is going to be on March 10th. I know that that's coming up pretty quickly, so people might have their calendar filled up. If you don't, maybe check out the Sacramento trip.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience. Like I said, I've been up a couple of times, and it's really fun. We stay at the Hyatt Regency in Sacramento, which is the hotel that overlooks the actual state capitol building. It's actually where Arnold Schwarzenegger made it his home base. He made the penthouse. That's where he lived when he was the governor up there. So it's a fantastic location. We go up, we get to see all of our speakers, we get to all interact with one another and meet new people in the Santa Clarita Valley area. And then we have a lovely dinner and cocktail hour with a special keynote speaker. One of the speakers last time was a Los Angeles Times Sacramento correspondent. And so he spoke about the changes that he had seen over time and the processes of the economy in California and what he expected to see in the next couple of years, especially with it that have been happening in the political sphere. So it's always very educational. It's very fun. It really is, because everybody knows that you're all going up there to learn. And something that I mentioned before is that it is a bipartisan thing. Like, yes, it is being sponsored by Republican State Senator Suzette Valladares, but we also often have our assembly members from this area as well taking part. In previous years, it was run by our Republican State Senator Scott Wilk, and then Democratic State Senator Henry Stern, who is just right next door. So this is about Santa Clarita. It's not about parties, it's about our concerns. And it's also just a great way to learn about Santa Clarita and how it actually works, because there's a lot of mystery involved. And also, it's just a really cool way to see California and the state capitol itself.
Is there a lot of focus on, would you say it's divided evenly in terms of the focus of the state overall? Individual cities, individual counties, like how do they break that up between the 2 days? Like, I'm a Santa Clarita resident. I want to hear about Santa Clarita. No offense, elsewhere in California, don't really want to hear about that specifically. So am I able to look at a schedule and
Yeah,
say, hey, this is what interests me. I'm going to show up for that and cool my jets until it's, time?
No, actually, we all stay together. So we have a separate breakfast potentially, and then we all go up. I'm talking about the second day specifically, because on the first day, we all get in the bus. Everybody does their little powwows and does real quick meet and greets where we all trade seats on the bus to get to know each other on the way up. Quick stop for coffee in Buttonwillow, and then we keep on going up. And then we, almost as soon as we stop, we drop our stuff off on our rooms, and then we head to meet the first speaker on the top floor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It is very quick, and they are statewide concerns. So maybe they're talking about the state water project. Well, that does pertain to us because we have Castaic Lake, which is a part of the state water project. And so then we'll just cycle through financial concerns, education concerns, and then we'll have a break for dinner, usually a cocktail hour and dinner at a very nice separate location that everybody is able to dress up for and do a little bit more meet and greet. And then we all break for the night. And then we come back the next day and we do it all over again up until some point in the afternoon when we all load ourselves up onto the bus and then head straight back down. It is a quick, fast time, but it's very exciting. And I keep mentioning that you should go because even though I keep saying that, we're going to broadcast interviews, we don't broadcast any of the sessions. Those are not recorded. These are all private. And the ongoing joke that started many, many years ago is that what happens in what's said in Sacramento stays in Sacramento. So if you want to have those one-on-one discussions with state operatives, you can. And it can be a candid conversation because it's not for the cameras. It's not for us. It is for you.
So bring your notebook and just, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen that often. I mean, once a year, we can say it happens once a year.
Yeah.
But really to have that opportunity of somebody who is in the position of making decisions sitting right in front of you, and you have a chance to explain, what's concerning you, that's pretty incredible.
That's not a lot of opportunities given for somebody just on a regular basis.
No, not at all. But we still have some open seats. As you mentioned before, we do have a deadline of when you have to get those in, though. So we have a little over a month or so for you to turn in your message of interest. So please contact us at info@hometownstation.com. Look more into the 2026 KHTS Sacramento road trip, and hopefully we'll see you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
FM 98.1 and AM 1220, your hometown station. Here's what's happening around town this weekend. Get your tickets to a Broadway classic at the Canyon Theater Guild. Rogers and Hammerstein's South Pacific is taking the stage January 30th through February 1st at 7 p.m. Go to canyontheater.org. Join the Black Business Council for a special evening of networking in recognition of Black History Month, February 3rd at 5 p.m. at Venue Valencia. Feeling overwhelmed by WordPress web accessibility or unsure where to start? Natalie McLee's longtime WordPress product builder will talk about it in practical terms. January 31st at 11 a.m. at the University Center at the College of the Canyons. Troop 583 invites boys in grades 4th through 8th grade to join them for a fun day outside at Valley Trails Ranch. Event takes place February 1st at 8:30 p.m. For these events and more, go to our website, hometownstation.com. For KHTS Radio, I'm Jennifer Sparks.
Have you experienced an adverse reaction after your COVID vaccine or lost a loved one? You're not alone. I'm Jessica Setta, former vocalist for the top-selling pop group The Pussycat Dolls. I am one of those who had a life-changing reaction, but there's hope. React 19 is a science-based nonprofit offering financial, physical, and emotional support for those suffering from long-term COVID-19 vaccine adverse events. Our mission is to bring hope and to those who are suffering life-altering side effects. We build bridges between patients and research institutions, financial medical grants for those in need, and education for patients and providers to develop a deeper understanding of these vaccine complications. This is not a political issue. It's a humanitarian crisis, but together we can help heal the innocent lives who are suffering daily from this complex and debilitating disease. It's time. Act now before it's too late to turn these negative reactions into positive action. Learn more, share, react19.org. That's react19.org.
When you're looking for a midnight snack, sometimes fast food just doesn't cut it. California Bakery and Cafe is open 24/7, so you'll be able to find fresh donuts, danishes, bagels, all-natural fruit juices, gourmet sandwiches, and much more at any hour. With elaborate cakes for any occasion, including weddings, baptisms, anniversaries, corporate events, or any special event. California Bakery and Cafe in Santa Clarita is open 24 hours to satisfy any craving, anytime. Call us, 255-1254. That's 255-1254.
Here in LA, we're a city of dreamers, go-getters, people who work hard and care about their families. So when someone's negligence causes an injury, it's not just an accident, it's a setback no one deserves. With nearly 50 years of experience in helping families rise from the most challenging moments, OPO Law is proud to protect Angelenos. We're here to help you celebrate 2026 with clarity, confidence, and the support you deserve. Call our trusted team at OPO at 888-OPO-WINS, opolaw.com.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family-friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family-friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Howdy folks, Jesse here with Bear Windows. Let's face it, your windows have seen better days. They're draftier than Grandpa's old pickup truck, and every time the wind blows, you swear you hear them whispering, "You'll never be warm again." This new year, it's time for a change. At Bear Windows, we will replace those old energy-sucking windows with high-quality, energy-efficient ones that keep the warmth in and the cold out. And don't worry about turning your house into a construction zone. We will typically install your new windows in just one day, with no drywall or stucco damage, using the highest quality sealants and materials, making this upgrade a once-in-a-lifetime investment. At Bear Windows, we don't just care about your home, we care about you. That's why we back our work with a lifetime warranty and a customer service team that treats you like royalty. And if you think quality new windows will cost a fortune like those other guys, think again. With payments as low as $80 a month on approved credit, upgrading your home has never been easier or more affordable. This new year, make a resolution you'll keep. A warm, comfortable home you'll love year-round. Call Bear Windows today or visit us at bearwindows.com.
Built Bear Tough. License number 1036822.
Trusting a professional to preserve your clothing will allow them to look good and last longer. SCV Cleaners has 3 locations throughout the Santa Clarita Valley. They have a plant on site offering professional care and plenty of knowledge to make sure your clothing always ends up looking good. SCV Cleaners is a full-service cleaners that will tackle your toughest stains. They offer pickup and delivery service that will come to your home or office to make your life a little easier. SCV Cleaners also offers professional tailoring and alterations. They always make your clothes fit like they are custom made for you. Santa Clarita's best choice for your dry cleaning, laundry, and tailoring needs. Visit scvcleaners.com.
I listen to it all day, every day. Hometown, your hometown station.
The time is 2:51 on this Thursday afternoon. Not too bad out on the roads for you this afternoon. Just the usual slowdowns that you're going to run into with construction and whatnot. We do have a little bit of a slowdown that's causing delays. Looks like a 5-minute delay on the 14 north right at Plywood on the right lane. I apologize. I'm trying to get our exit here. San Fernando. So just keep that in mind. It looks like somebody lost a little bit of plywood from their truck on the right-hand side there. Expect delays of about 5 minutes. And then other than that, not too bad. 14 north, just the usual slowdown. That's the construction that'll get you at the Via Princesa and Golden Valley exits there. The 5 heading north at Lyons on the brakes just a bit. And Sophia, how is our weather?
Jen, the weather is beautiful outside. It's 72 degrees. We are getting winds 9 miles an hour coming in from the north. The next couple of days going into the weekend, it's going to be in the 70s with some wind advisories. So just be aware that we are getting gusts up to 45 miles an hour this weekend. But other than that, the weather is going to be beautiful.
All right, perfect. So we've got a little bit of breaking news that we want to check in on that just came across. Looks like there's a fatal car accident that's taken place in Colorado involving a Sprinter van, Jade.
Yes, absolutely. So very specifically, it actually involves a Sprinter van for the Santa Clarita Flyers, which is a youth ice hockey team from here in Santa Clarita. Very unfortunately, the driver of the Sprinter van has been killed and 8 other people have been injured, including 5 youths and 3 adults. So this happened on Interstate 70 in Clear Creek County, Colorado. And it does appear that the Sprinter van, which was carrying 10 people at the time, collided with a Colorado Department of Transportation snowplow, according to the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office. Boy, that is a tongue twister. There are also 2 other vehicles also involved in the crash, and we really don't have more information. We will be trying to get you more information as quickly as we can. We do know that, once again, the driver of this Sprinter van for the Santa Clarita Flyers has died, and 8 other people have been injured. We really don't have any other information as to details as to how badly.
Yeah. The only information that we do have other than that is that the president of the hockey team did confirm with NBC Los Angeles that the Santa Clarita Flyer athletes were in the van at the time of the crash.
And that they were injured, actually. So we do know that we will be trying to get more updates. But, be very careful on the roadways, especially if you're traveling during this nationwide ice storm that is happening right now. And we'll be checking back in with those Santa Clarita Flyers as soon as we can.
All right. And we're going to pivot here this afternoon. We've got a few more minutes of your hometown drive with your host, Jade Abashan, Sophia Lesios, and myself, Jen Sparks. This is the show where we talk about all things Santa Clarita Valley, news and sports, entertainment, traffic, things that are just going on around town. And if there's anything that you missed on today's show or any other show, you can always recap that on your own time. You can go to our website, hometownstation.com. We've got a YouTube channel that has this show and all of our shows, all of our previous shows. So if there's anything that you've ever missed that, oh gosh, I want to see what they were talking about, and you're driving, you're trying to run errands, whatever, just check out our website, hometownstation.com, for any and all information on this show, other shows, events, and that kind of thing. So we have a few minutes here. I love working here because I love the people, but I also love a dog in particular. Our little buddy Tycho is in the back there with Louie, and he just he brightens up everybody's day. He makes everything that much sweeter. He's a good boy, and so he kind of got me thinking. I was like, I want to do a little Googling on dogs. So I came across this one bit of information that I thought was really surprising. There's a dog that is known as the barkless dog. Now, Tycho's very quiet. He's a good boy. He doesn't bark, but he has the ability to do so. There's a dog that does not, and it's called a Basenji breed. He doesn't bark, but he will make a yodel-like noise, and it kind of sounds like a howl in many ways. It's because that their larynx is shaped in a weird way, so they don't have the ability to bark. And they are often used as hunting dogs in their native land because they obviously won't scare off any prey. So I thought that was kind of cool. My dog's pretty quiet, a noise, but when she does, it echoes throughout the entire house. So yeah. And of course, everybody's always talked about dogs have 7 years to a human year, and that's not necessarily true or accurate. The American Kennel Club says that a medium-sized dog, their 1 year of life is equivalent to a 15-year-old human.
Wow.
And then the second year of that dog's life goes to about 9 years. And then after that, it's 5 years for each subsequent year. So it's on average 7 years. You can't, you're not going to be exact with that. But I thought that was interesting. And it is true that larger dogs live a shorter life than a smaller breed would. Usually, 10 to 15 years, although I've heard of people having dogs go up to 17, 18 years. So if you do the right thing and keep them healthy. This other story I thought was funny. Why do dogs lick? And basically it went through this whole entire, this is all these different things that it could be. It's basically because you smell good. And they want to lick you.
Okay.
All right. That works. That makes sense. Maybe you were making dinner and you smell like, that cheeseburger that you were making. It also talked a little bit about how like wild dog species will lick the pack members to welcome them home, and so maybe that's kind of what your dog is doing when you walk in the door. They're giving you
we're
kisses.
part of their pack.
I know, isn't that cute? Yeah.
Either that or they're saying we're a snack, which either way,
you smell like a burger, which is possible.
I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah. Either way, it's good. And finally, dogs do see color. We've always been told that dogs see in black and white, and that's not necessarily true. They see in like yellows and blues and kind of a combination of the two, so green. Kind of similar to a human being who has like a red-green color blindness. So they do see some colors. It's not as bright and vibrant as you would think, but that's what they've got going. And then they also have much better vision in the dark than we do. So dogs are very special. Do you guys have dogs, cats, birds?
Yeah.
You have a menagerie.
Yeah, I have a
all
farm
sorts.
at this point.
Yeah.
I have 4 dogs on my mom's property. So I live on my mom's property in her guest house currently. And I have 3 cats myself and a dog. My mom has 3 dogs and she has 4 cats.
Wow.
So in total, there's a lot of animals on the property. Yeah, but it is 2 acres of land. So I will say that. So it's a quite a bit of property over there.
Plenty of room.
Yeah. My parents and my mother loves dogs, so we have quite a few. And then we also have a couple of cats as well. And we love them dearly, but sometimes waking up to a 16-pound orange cat on my chest is...
that's a good alarm clock.
Yeah, he's heavy. I love him dearly. He's so cuddly. But my goodness, when I wake up wheezing because I can't breathe because this cuddly I'm allergic to cats and dogs, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just not deathly allergic to them. And as long as I don't touch my face, we're all good. But I constantly live on Benadryl.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us this afternoon on KHTS. You've been listening to your Hometown Drive with Jade Abishan, Sophia Lesios, and myself. We will catch you back here next week, same time. We are your Hometown Drive. Local voices, local stories, your Hometown Drive.